So today we are going to be making this really cute snail clubhouse. The materials that you're going to need for this project are your wood pieces, your sticks. There's a bag with some little pebbles in there, some little clothespins here, buttons, a garden stake, a little umbrella, a wire, a leaf, clay, some little eyeballs, little papers, and your paint. You're going to need your paint palette and your glue here. And make sure when you're using your glue, we're going to be using it again, so save your lid. And what you need that's not in the box is just any pair of scissors will work, and a little cup or bowl or jar of water. Okay, so I'm going to take a break, and you guys make sure you get all of the materials that you need. Okay, I'm going to take a break, so you guys make sure you go and get all the materials you need and meet me back here to press play. Okay, are you ready? The first thing we need is to take our snail clubhouse. We've already glued on a stick for you guys using hot glue to make sure it stays on nice and good. If your stick happened to fall off for some reason before you started making it, just glue it back on, okay? So I'm gonna take my house, and the first thing I'm gonna do is paint it a little bit. I'm not gonna add too much paint, just a little bit. When you're using your paint palette, you wanna get your brush fully wet and pick the color you want. I'm gonna go with yellow. And you want to rub your paint for at least 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I like a lot of paint, so I'm going to take my paintbrush, dip it in the water again to gather more water on my brush, and count to 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now my brush is probably nice and covered. So here, let's start painting our house. Now it's your turn. Time to press pause and paint your own house. Press play when you're ready for the next step. How's your house looking? I chose to do mine green and yellow with my favorite color, a purple trim. I just need to add a little bit more for finishing touches. And now my snail house is nice and painted, and I am ready to move on to the next step. So, put down your cute little snail house, and I don't know about you, but if you've ever seen snails, they like grass, they like dirt, they like different things in nature. So, you're gonna wanna take your glue and your paintbrush. But I like to have a towel around just in case I need it. So I'm gonna clean off my paint, my same paintbrush that I used for my paint, and I'm gonna use it for my glue. So with this glue, you're gonna be using it for different projects in the box, so make sure that you don't throw it out after. Save your lid, okay? So I'm gonna take my wood pieces and my grass pieces and my leaf pieces, all of these nature pieces here, and I'm gonna glue them all around the bottom of my snail house. As you can see here, I put some grass, some moss, some different leaves, and my stones, and my different wood pieces all around to make it look like a cozy snail clubhouse. So now it's your turn. I'm gonna slowly take my time. You don't have to rush. Don't throw it all on there with a bunch of glue. Take your time. Put things where you want to put them. Sometimes I like to put things down first, like this. And then I'll do my gluing after. So if I want something here, I'm gonna take a good amount of my glue, not too much, but you're gonna want it kind of thick. I'm gonna put it on the bottom where I want to glue, just like that, and I'm gonna carefully place it where I want it. And that should be dried in the next little while. So take your time, you guys. Put your wood pieces around, put your grass pieces around, and make sure you're saving your paper, your clay, and all those things for later. We're just doing our wood pieces right now and our different grass and nature pieces, okay? Wow, this is so much fun. Okay, go ahead, you guys do yours. I'm gonna work on mine. Press the pause button and I'll meet you back here in a little bit, okay? Welcome back. So here's mine. I wanted to show you guys up close. I put like a little leaf on top, and I have my stones and my wood pieces, and it's looking really cozy. All right, the next thing we're gonna wanna add to our house is this little garden sign. So what you wanna do is get one of these little pieces of paper that you got here, and you're gonna wanna put a tiny bit of glue, just a little bit. You only need a tiny little thin layer of glue on the side with colors on it. And you're gonna glue that to the front of your sign to make a little white space so we can write Snail Clubhouse, or you can write, my name is Samantha, so I can write Samantha Snail Clubhouse, I can write Keep Out, I can write Snail Land, anything that you want to call your little clubhouse here, you can write it here on your sign, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call mine the Snail House. So if you can't spell, you're not sure how to do your letters, just ask an adult or a friend for help. So now it's your turn to do this. Press pause and I'll meet you back here. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add these cool little clubhouse flags to it. I think it adds a cute little touch. So what you need for that is your wire that you have here, your little pieces of paper, like these ones, a little bit of glue, and some scissors. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna hang your banner. How you're gonna do that is you're gonna take one pokey side of the wire and you're gonna stick it somewhere into the edge, the side of your snail house. Let me come closer so you can see. There we go. See, my snail house is made of foam. So this kind of wire thing sticks really easily into there. If your wire is too long, mine is too long, you can cut it. But what you want to do is stick it in pretty deep, have it going across like this, stick it in this side so that you have a wire going across just like that, okay? Once you have your wire going across, you are going to take your little papers and fold them in half, like this. Fold them in half, so it's like a tiny little book, just like this. And we're gonna take our little clothespin, we're gonna open the fold, put it over top of here, of our wire like this, and just clip it on your wire. And here I have square flags. Here I have triangle flags. If you want to make yours a triangle, you just take some of the paper and cut it into a point. Just like that. You can cut it into a point before you even clip it on, actually, if you like. And then continue to do that with the rest of your paper for as many flags as you would like, okay? So go ahead and press pause so that you can put your wire in and start attaching your flags. Okay, see you in a bit. Well, as you can see, everything is looking so good. I love my snail house. It looks like exactly where I would want to live if I was a snail. So finally, the best part, we are gonna make our snails. I am going to move my house out of my way while I build my snails. Move it over here. And what you're gonna wanna do is get your clay, get your eyeballs, get your buttons, and we're gonna make some snails. You can make a snail however you want. However, I'm gonna show you 2 different ways that I like to make a snail. So one way, you can do any color you want, you can do any size you want, you can make a big snail, a little snail, a baby snail. I'm gonna make a bunch of different sizes. So I'm gonna take a little pink, a little purple, a little blue, just because I just love those colors. I'm gonna roll them up and create like a little worm shape. So if you guys have ever made snakes before or have rolled Play-Doh or dough, if you roll it between your 2 hands, going back and forth, just like you're trying to heat something up, you're gonna have a cool worm shape that you can make your snail with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my worm snake and slowly roll it up into a coil. And there you go. So now I have like a round kind of coil snail shell shape, and I'm gonna take this circle and I press it down lightly so that it has a little flat bottom. So now my snail can sit up like that. Okay, so for the shell, I'm gonna take my button, or actually I'll just take this little button because it's a little snail, and I'm gonna stick it on my snail shell, and then I'm going to add some eyeballs. And put a button on the other side. So here we have our first snail. I'll call him Joe. And he is so cute. Here, let's go in and take a look. We got our first snail right there. So here is my second way that you can make snails. Instead of rolling it up like a coil, you can just make this kind of little worm shape. It's a little shorter, it's a little thicker. Kind of looks like a short little green bean, okay? Just like that. Oops. You can take this and take a button and stick it right into your snail's body like that. Point the tail out a little bit, like to make his head coming up. And then put some eyeballs on. One on each side. And there you go. Oh my gosh, this guy is actually really cute. I'll bring him up to show. Look how cute that is. So we'll add this guy to our house too. Beautiful. So go ahead, work on your snails, press the pause button, and meet me back here when you're finished. The last piece that we're gonna add is something I just find so adorable. It's this cute little tiny umbrella, okay? So take the, there's an elastic holding the umbrella together. Take that off carefully and carefully separate the pieces together. You have to go very slow and be very gentle for these because they're very fragile. Okay, once you have that, you can poke it anywhere in your house. I think that looks like a good spot. And there you go. You have your beautiful snail garden. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want to add any more snails, you can always add more snails with extra clay that you have. If you have extra supplies left over, definitely save them for another craft project. If you have extra sticks or grass left over that's made of actual nature, you can throw it back in nature. All your containers, save your glue. Go make sure you wash your paintbrush, save your glue for your next project, and go and wash your water container. And I'll see you next time. Good job, everybody.